Plaintiff Miranda Stenberg became friends with the defendant in 7th grade, but she claims they lost touch after the defendant started using drugs. Miranda is suing her former friend for damaged property. Defendant HAILEY SEARCY insists she is the one who stopped talking to Miranda after Miranda started abusing meth. HAILEY claims after she allowed Miranda to stay with her, she called Child Protective Services on her for child neglect. So she's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Alrighty. Me and HAILEY became friends around 7th grade, and we clicked immediately doing things teenagers do, sneaking out of our parents' houses, going to parties, and we grew apart more whenever she started using drugs. And
that is false, Your Honor. She was the one who actually started using meth first.
All right. When did that happen, when she started using drugs, as you allege?
Roughly...
What grade were you all in?
Around 12th grade.
And she started using
yes.
What type of drugs?
Xanax.
Okay.
And after that, she had went to rehab, and we grew apart.
When?
She became pregnant with her daughter.
When did she go to rehab?
I'm not 100% sure on the year.
Okay, who told you she went?
She did.
When did she tell you? What year? You don't know the year she told you?
Around 2013-ish, I'd say.
That is wrong, Your Honor. I went to rehab in 2017, May 4th, to be exact.
Okay.
And she told you, and when did you tell her this?
I told her I was in rehab probably, like I said, after I got to rehab. I obviously texted her, so that was in 2017, Your Honor.
Okay. And since that time, what has your relationship been like?
We'd been on and off best friends. We had stopped speaking when she had went to rehab, and when she came out of rehab, I started speaking to her again, and I started, introducing myself to her daughter at the time. And
that is false, Your Honor. She has been in my daughter's life the whole 5 years she has been born, or she's been alive.
All right, let me hear from you.
Your Honor, as she stated, we have been best friends for 8 years, on and off. She had gotten really bad into meth, and I stopped talking to her for about 2 years because I didn't want...
So she says she stopped talking to you because you got into Xanax, but you say you stopped talking to her because she got into crystal meth.
Yes,
Who stopped talking first? You or her?
I quit speaking to her.
You stopped speaking to her?
Your Honor.
You say?
I stopped speaking to her.
When did you get on crystal meth, or were you?
I was a freshman in high school.
That is correct.
When did you get on Xanax?
What, about a year ago?
Okay, so it sounds like she would stop speaking to you. You were on crystal meth years ago by your own admission. She just got on Xanax, so
that's a lie, Your Honor.
Pardon?
I said that's a lie, Your Honor.
About her getting on Xanax?
So soon. She's been
Your Honor,
Xanax
I have documentation from my rehab.
All right, that doesn't tell when you got on it. She's trying to claim, I guess, that you got on it as a teenager while you all were in high school.
True,
so let's move on about who became a dope fiend first. Or a drug addict who has gone into recovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the polite way to put it, and that's how I usually put it for folks who have found that they need help and went and got it. And tell me more. You all stopped speaking because of that?
We stopped speaking because of that, because at the time I had, Annalise was probably about 1, and I didn't want that around her. She got off of it of her own will, so we started talking again. She moved in with me and my mother, and she lived in our basement.
When? When did you move in with them?
November of 2017.
All right. And let me ask you, because folks need to know this as well. My son was surprised when I told him Xanax was addictive. He was talking about how his buddy uses Xanax to go to sleep, and he didn't think that was the right way to go to sleep at night. He said you should use melatonin or something. He described the natural. He said, but he said the Xanax don't do that. I say, Xanax is highly addictive. Really? He did. I don't know if he knows that. I said, yeah. He said, because most people don't think that. He said it's a club drug that young people use, and that it is highly addictive, is it?
Yes, it is,
It's
Your Honor.
highly addictive,
it's highly addictive.
And you go through withdrawals,
yes,
right?
Yes, you do, Your Honor. You get the shakes. body just hurts all the time. It's not a good drug to do.
Yeah, y'all, you think it's cute to use Xanax? You hear her talking to the young people that's viewing.
Don't do it.
Right.
Stop.
Right.
It's bad.
So I'm glad you were able to explain and let these young folks know your experience as a member of their generation, and this is what's happening. All right, tell me about the property she damaged.
So I moved in November of 2017. I was having issues with my boyfriend at the time, and we'd broken up. I needed some place to stay. Her
That's
mother
not
was
true,
nice
Your
enough.
Honor. They were still
finish.
together.
All right, let her finish first. Go
Her
ahead.
mother was nice enough to let me move into the basement. I cleaned it up. We made a deal for $300 a month, which I could do. And as I moved in, I noticed more that she would come home. I would come home from work every night, and she would be all kinds of messed up on Xanax and have all these friends in the basement that I was renting. And I was not renting that basement for her to party in while I was away at work.
So what happened?
Eventually, I moved out because I was bonding.
Let her finish.
I was bonding more with her child and getting really attached to her child, and I watched her
Moved
start.
when? What month? And year?
February of 18.
That is a lie,
so
Your Honor.
You only
She
stayed
moved
a
out
few months.
January 1st.
February of 18. Now the question becomes, what property did she damage of yours? And how was it damaged?
So when I went to go pick up, I had a living room set of a couch, a love seat,
after you had moved
coffee
out?
tables. Yes.
Okay, you moved out and didn't take all your things in February.
No, I did not have.
So you returned to go and get them, and what happened?
When I returned to go and get them, my mattress was ripped on the side. It smelled very foul, very foul. My headboard was scratched and had stains, white stains on them, and it's a black headboard, so it's like you can't get the white out of it. And my furniture was wet, and it smelled very foul. My tables were scratched. And at first, I didn't even notice it. It was actually my witness who came with me to
Okay,
go
so
and
what
move the stuff.
happened to those?
I'm not sure really what happened.
In the lower level, only your room in the lower level?
Yes.
And when you asked what happened, what were you told?
I was told a couple different stories. So my headboard was also broken, and she had told me that she had had a couple people over, and something had happened where they were in the room, and something got knocked over, and it just broke it. I never got any explanation on...
But the foul odor on couches, why couldn't you get it
she
clean?
Said that
Why would you
it
want to...
was soaked all the way through the bottom of the mattress.
That's the mattress. How about couches?
I never got any word that she was willing to clean the couches, or...
I was told she was going to clean them herself. So
Why were they soiled and dirty?
I had thrown a party, and I also have animals.
And the area that she had rented?
Because she'd moved out 3 months after she didn't come get her stuff. I said, well, she doesn't want it.
It was 3 months later?
Yes, I kept in contact with her mother the entire time to make sure it was okay.
I'm gonna have a party, and I'm gonna have some fun.
She was no longer paying rent, obviously.
She was no longer paying rent or security for her stuff.
So it was really being stored.
It was just being stored, but she was not paying.
Did you ever speak with your mother about using
I did,
that area for a party?
and she said she would be fine with it.
How was it damaged?
Well, I don't really know how it was damaged. I don't understand how her headboard and stuff got broken. I mean, it wasn't that big of a party, but I do have animals that like to pee on soft things, and sometimes they get trapped in the basement.
Like Animal House, the movie?
No, like a cat and a dog, Your Honor. Sometimes they get trapped down in the basement when we're doing laundry, and they need to go potty, and they like to pee on soft stuff.
Yes.
It would have been more than once as well, because I mean, in the pictures, the stuff was still wet. It was not just animal urine. It was wet all over the bottom side of it.
Let's try and believe it was.
I'd like to.
Your counterclaim for $1,000 is for what?
I have a message here, Your Honor, that states that she is going to get my child taken away from me, and I saw this message, and then 3 weeks later, DFS shows up at my house.
And so what was the conclusion of the investigation?
They found nothing.
What do you have there? Ma'am, did you do this? Did you call DCFS on her?
No, I did not. I know who did it, and I have proof that I did not do it.
She has provided me with a text where you say, I'm ruining her life, and the next sentence, like she can kiss her kid goodbye.
I was very upset. I would never...
All right, so it's a coincidence that you said you were going to do it, and it happened? That was just a coincidence?
It's not a coincidence. I said it because I was very upset, and I was trying to say something to hurt her.
Okay, so you didn't do it?
No,
You just
no, Your
said
Honor.
you were.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you said you were going to do it, and somehow it happened.
I have
And you
proof.
didn't do it.
I have proof that I.
Who you got
of
to
who
lie
it
for
is.
you? Let's see.
I'm not
I'm
lying,
going
Your
in
Honor.
your writing. You're about to hand me something somebody else said. I'm going by what you wrote. You said, I'm ruining her life. She can kiss her kid goodbye. And then she has an investigation. How long after?
About 3 weeks. Your
3
Honor.
weeks later, she has an investigation into so-called child neglect or abuse. I believe you 100%. Whoever lied for you, tell him the judge couldn't overlook your own admission. I don't believe this. I believe this is contrived. You got somebody that lied for you, and I'm relying on what you said, not what anyone else said. So that's enough. I'm looking at it. You said you put this down. You said it was a coincidence. Your claim for damaged property. Let me see your items. Pictures, estimates of the repairs. How you doing with your children now? Did they question them and all that nonsense?
It was, the DFS worker literally came out on a Saturday morning, came in, and she was like, I don't even know why I'm here. There's no reason for me to be here, but that makes me look like a bad mom.
Your child? Who said I'm here?
The DFS worker.
Said they don't even know why they're there.
Yep.
Yeah, based on my observation, I only see $500 damage. So $500 is your judgment for the damage based on what I've observed, and $1,000 for your emotional distress for her threatening, and then the result is that you were investigated for child neglect, and she said you could kiss your kids goodbye, meaning that she wanted them to be removed from you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't think that she should have called DFS on me. I would have paid her if she wouldn't have done that, but she did that, and I don't feel like she should have been paid.
I did not call DFS on her. She did ruin my things.
There's no friendship here.
No friendship here.